Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Hey, private practice heroes, it's Colaiacovo, and today I want to dive into some video content for your marketing. And I'm going to talk about Reels in particular because it's one of the most common types of video that people are using in their marketing right now. And what I want to share today is my favorite type of video to use for these because it's the easiest kind of reel to make. And in my opinion, it gets you the best ROI possible. And I'm not talking about trending ones and using trending sounds. Honestly, when folks come to me and tell me they've got, 10,000 views on a video, but none of those people are part of their ideal client audience, the reels like that aren't always going to pay off for you. I want you to get a payoff and get some real results from your videos. And you know me, this lesson is going to come with a framework and a system to make it possible and easier for you to make it happen too. Here's the thing. Videos, especially reels, are such an easy type of content to include in your marketing when you have a simple process to make it happen. But it's having that simple process and a framework to do the videos that makes it work like a charm and makes it possible to do as part of your consistent content plan. Without that simple process, they can actually be a nightmare. And a lot of times they take way too much time, in my opinion, for the ROI you get back on it. And I hear stories all the time about people taking hours and hours to do simple videos for Instagram and Facebook Reels. Listen, folks, these are 30 to 60 second videos. They are not movies up for an Oscar, although probably some of them could be. But for most practice and business owners, having an effective video or reel that delivers a purposeful message is all you need. Fretting and fussing and making them so complicated they take hours to do is not what I want to see anyone doing at all. Unless video is a passion of yours and you have the editing skills and the talent to mix them up quickly and easily so that you can make those complicated ones with neat transitions and fun stuff going in them and all the trending things happening on, well, unless that's you, making them is going to be complicated, so stop making them complicated. Honestly, for me, the best ones to make and the easiest ones too are talking head videos. You put your selfie video on, you create a quick 30 or 60 second video of you talking, sharing some information, and you get that piece of marketing content up on your social media channel. These are the best kind to make, and they will not be a time suck on your day. Not if you have a good system, that is. And for me, I want that system in place because I am not at all interested in making videos that require me to be editing, cutting, adding in pictures, adding in elements, splicing together videos. Honestly, if that was what I had to do, I would have quit making reels long ago. To me, talking head videos are simple. And I was sharing this information with one of the members in my Thrive Marketing Academy. And I'm going to give a shout out to Tammy Morse of razorfree.ca. She's an electrologist here in Nova Scotia because she is the one who gave me the idea for this lesson today. I was trying to explain to Tammy how simple reels can be, and she still wasn't sure how it was all possible because she was having a challenging time making it happen, but she was doing those kinds that I was talking about, cutting and pasting and putting things together. So I told her I would go into more detail on this on the podcast, and that's why we're here today. Here's the thing. When you have a system in place to support this, it truly can be fast and easy. And that's what I want to share with you today. How to make reels easy for you to do with a simple framework. Now, keep in mind, I am not saying you have to be making videos or creating tons and tons of videos. Not if what you're doing is not getting any reach or results. If it's not bringing you clients or leads or consults, then I really want you to think about what you're doing and what is the purpose of those videos and what are they doing for you and your business. I do believe if you do want to add some video content to your consistent content plan, it can be simple to add 1 or 2 a week to your marketing content without making it such a huge deal to put into place. Now, if the term consistent content plan is new to you, I do encourage you to listen to episode 28 of the podcast, which explains what this is all about. It talks about the 5 ways a consistent content plan can help grow your private practice or business. I'll link to that in the show notes so you can check it out if you want to. But in a nutshell, a consistent content plan is one where you create one article that you will use on your blog, maybe adjust it a little and send it as a newsletter. And then you're going to pull out some of the content in the article to create your social media content for that cycle, however often you do this consistent content plan. The content that you're pulling out for social media will typically educate people, encourage them, engage them, motivate them to take some action. There's lots of things it can do. And 1 or even 2 pieces of that content could be in video form. You just pull the content from the article, pull out your camera, share the information on video, and post it online. Now, I know I made that sound really easy, 4 little steps. There are a few more than that. I know I make it sound easier than some of you find, but let's really make it easy here. And I will break down why I feel that these talking head reels or videos are the easiest type of videos to make and how you can quickly make them from that information that you've created in that article, your anchor content, which is part of your consistent content plan. First, I'm going to share a little bit about the system I have in place to have the information ready to hit record and then post the video. This way, you know what pieces are all involved in this process to make it possible to follow this video posting framework. And being prepared is everything here. Planning things out. Being ready to just get that video up and online is a key part of this process. And in case it didn't come across in any of this lesson today or other lessons you've heard me saying on the podcast, you've got to have a plan and a schedule for creating consistent new content for your marketing. Creating that anchor content that will go on your website so the search engines find you and help people find you when they're searching online. And it's also the content that you use as the basis for your own marketing. So just as a quick example here, let's say you create an article for a monthly blog. That's your anchor content. You're going to put it on your website, and it's the anchor that pulls all of the marketing together. So all of your new marketing content that you want to create until the next time you write a blog and put it out there should be based on this one main anchor content, this article you wrote. It will turn into your newsletter content, your blog content, your social media posts, and yes, even videos. And that content, all of the type that I mentioned, could be marketing content for Instagram, stories, lives, posts, Facebook videos, TikTok videos, Instagram reels, Instagram videos, lots of places. It can go on LinkedIn. It can go on as posts there, Twitter, Threads, wherever you're putting your content out. You don't need to be creating new content all the time. Create that one article and use it as the base for your marketing content. When you do this and you base the content you're including your videos on in this article, it means you're not creating all this new content for all the different marketing channels. You're just repurposing that one article in different formats. The words and the lessons are the same, but you're going to pull it out and put it out in different ways. And this is the number one way to save time with your marketing, repurposing that content in that article to become your marketing content for that cycle that you're creating here. And if you're one of those folks that I meet all the time and talk to on consults who create posts for Instagram and Facebook, and then you write a blog, and then you create a newsletter, and it is all new content everywhere, oh my gosh, please stop. Check out that episode number 28 that I mentioned, and maybe even look at episode number 38, which is all about 5 easy to follow tips to create your social media content in less time. These two will help you understand better how a consistent content plan and how repurposing your content can help you save a ton of time with your marketing. And if you are someone creating all that content, even better, just book a free marketing review with me. It's something I offer as part of the podcast here. We'll look at your content marketing plan and I'll give you some first steps on how you can start creating less content, stop spending hours and hours doing this marketing, and actually get more results out of what you're doing too. So that's my little soapbox moment for marketing and not spending a ton of time marketing and creating all new content all the time. Now, back to the lesson at hand here. We're going to talk about how you're going to put this process in place. So once you have written that article, you're at step 1. You've got the content there. Now you want to decide on your message. So you have your article. You've got to decide what part of that article will make good content for a video to use on social media. What message do you want to share in that video? So you simply look at the article and pull out the content that you want to use as that main message. For me, I'll be honest, if I do an article that has 3 steps or 5 steps or so many tips or something like that, I like to use that because what I do in the video is I typically share the highlight of those X number of tips or steps that I've shared. So you have to pick what message you want to share in the video. Step number 2 is you're going to create the social media caption to go with your video. Now, part of the Thrive marketing method I teach is all about taking the time when you write your article to create the social media content you're going to need as well. It's part of the consistent content plan. You should typically know exactly how much content for social media and marketing you need when you create the article. One of those pieces will be a video in this case. And so one of the pieces of content is you're going to need a caption or a social media post to go with the video. So generally, I review the article I've written, which I typically save in a Google Doc, and I pull out, and pull out means copy and paste, by the way. I pull out something in the article that would be good to share as a video. So those steps or the XX lessons or tips that I was sharing earlier, I paste those in the section of my Google Doc where I store my social media captions. They all go in one document for every article. I keep it all together. So what I do here is I pull it out, paste it in there, and then I got the beginning of my caption or my post for social media. A lot of times I might have to add something at the beginning, like the hook to try and get people to read it. And then there may be a call to action at the end, some sort of CTA. Maybe I'm going to have them click the link in my bio. Maybe I'm going to have them message me, or maybe I'm not going to have a call to action because it's an educational post. For videos, I typically like those to have a call to action, so you want to add one of those in here. You will want to prep this social media post and have it fully ready to go with emojis, links, hashtags, whatever you need. So when the time comes, you can simply copy and paste it into Instagram where you're going to post that video and post it live. If you skip this preparation, this framework and the system will not work for you. Okay? So don't skip it. Get that content fully ready. And by the way, when I do this, I create a version of the post for Instagram and one for Facebook and LinkedIn too. If you've listened to my podcast at all or been on my newsletter list for any time, you know that I do not believe auto posting from Instagram to Facebook and LinkedIn should happen. You're wasting content when you do this. All you have to do here is copy and paste the caption you wrote for the first one for Instagram and adjust the CTA so that instead of saying hit the link in my bio, you put click this link here and access the information. That way you're putting out a piece of content that works best for the platform it's going on. So once you have these two versions ready, you are ready to go. At this point, I take a minute to create a short headline that's going to go on the video at the beginning. This is something that helps catch people's attention in the feed so they stop to check out the reel when they see it scrolling through their feed when they're on their phone or on their desktop checking things out. So you want to take a minute to create that headline. And the last element you want to create are the words for the CTA that you're going to put at the end of the video. And again, short and simple for both of these, it should only be, I typically keep it under 50 characters for the headline. And for the call to action, mine would typically say something like, check out episode 72 of the podcast or something like that. And I would have the link marketingyourprivatepractice.com/72 so that people can see it. So these are two things that you're going to want to put onto the video, to the reel when you go to post it live. Having them ready here in this document means when you're ready to do the video, it's another copy and paste. It's not typing things out and messing them up. My phone and I don't get along for typing. My fingers are kind of wide, shall we say, and it's challenging to get on to do the typing correctly. I really dislike using my phone for anything. I like to use my desktop if I can, but there are some things you can't get away with on the phone. So this is why I prepare things. So all I have to do is copy and paste. And that's it. So what you've done here in step 2 is you've created the caption, the headline, and the CTA words are all ready to go. And by the way, that caption is probably going to turn into the script for the reel, which is step number 3, create the script for the video. And this is where folks sometimes go off the rail and make things a lot more complicated than they need to do here. Literally, when I do this, all I do is I use what I have in the caption. I might say a few more words or even a fewer words, but the script that I use, I literally write it on a Post-it note, a 3x3 square Post-it. So I take the hook and I write it on the Post-it note. Then I take the tips or the lessons, maybe it was 3 different things. I put them on the Post-it note too. And then I'll put the CTA at the bottom of the Post-it note. And yes, I am writing this out with a pen, but that's my script. That's it. The script is right there. And I do this so that it reminds me what to say. And I also do it so that I don't ad lib, because whenever I ad lib, I go way too long. And I really want to keep these typically under 60 seconds. So once you have your script on your Post-it note, you're ready to film. And that's step number 4, filming the video. And this is where the Post-it note really comes into play. I take the Post-it note, put it on my phone, and I cover most of the screen so that when I'm looking at the phone, and I do put my phone on a stand that I have, so I'm not holding it, but when I'm looking at it and doing the video, I'm not looking at my face. I find sometimes I just look a little off when I'm looking at my own eyes, and I want to look at the camera. So having the Post-it note keeps me from looking at myself, which sounds silly, but that's what I do. Keeps me looking more at the actual camera. And I also have the words there to guide me. So I turn the video on. I just use my camera video. I don't record them in Instagram anymore because sometimes I want to do a Facebook ad for my videos, and I just prefer to save them on my phone so I have them saved where I can access them and they're not inside another program. So turn on the video, record a video that's under 60 seconds. So watch the timer, and you will get more comfortable doing this as you do it over and over in practice. For me, doing these videos should just maybe take a couple takes at the most. I don't want you doing these in a way that you're going to have to edit and cut and put them together. Just really get comfortable sharing that message and talking to the video, to the screen. If you make some flubs or mistakes, just go with it. It's just you being natural. I've definitely done them before. I'll often make fun of myself for whatever I've messed up, but it keeps you real and it keeps you authentic. So don't really worry about making it absolutely 100% perfect. 80% perfect is good enough. And we are real people and we do mess up and we do, flub words and screw things up sometimes. If I mess it up a lot, I'll start over, but I really give myself a limit. You have to put that limit on yourself so that you're not constantly making 10 takes to make this happen. Okay. And I'll be honest, I don't edit the videos at all, period. Nothing. I don't do it. I try to keep it to that length for that very purpose. So I don't have to be doing any editing so that it keeps it short enough. If I want to use it in other places, I can. So once you have the video done, you're ready to post. And if you want to batch create videos, that's something you can definitely do. What happens is you can actually create the videos ahead of time so that you can save them until the day you want to post it live on your social media channel. So you really can do part of step 5 in a couple steps. And I'm going to explain that to you because step 5 is really posting the reels online. And there are a couple parts to doing this because you want to have the prep time to get the video ready, and then you have the posting time. And I do post my reels through my phone live. I don't schedule them. And the reason that I don't schedule them in particular is I want to make sure I have the opportunity to edit the profile image and add some of the elements on there. You can definitely add some elements, do some pieces, and then save it as a draft in your Instagram so that you can come back to it and use it, which I do all the time. But I don't schedule it because I want to be able to pick and choose how the cover image is going to show on the screen when people are looking at it. So let's get into posting the reels. Step A as part of step 5. So we're in step 5 here, which is posting the reels. And there are 3 parts to it. First part is prep the video with the 3 elements you need. So the headline for the cover image, the words for the call to action at the end. And then I always recommend adding the captions and doing the subtitles on there so that people can see the words you're saying if they're watching without volume. And keep in mind, about 80% of the people watch videos online without any sound. So you want the captions. So you will go through this where you go in and you add the words for the cover, the call to action, and put the captions on as well. And then you want to go into the second part of this, which is to copy that fully ready to go social media caption you wrote in step 2 and paste it into the caption area. Once these 2 elements are done and you have the headline on, the call to action, you have the video, the captions, and you've posted your caption in your social media post into where it would show, you can actually save it at this point as a draft and come back to it when you want to post it live. This can make things a lot easier because it's all ready to go except for the last part, which is part 3 of posting the reel, which is editing that profile image and the view that people will see in the feed when they're looking at it. This is the last step that you do before posting, and it's your only opportunity to align the view of the headline that people will see on the reel, as well as how they're going to see it in the feed in the profile. So you want the headline you added to stand out. So I always take a second and adjust and check this before hitting post. So that's why out of step 5, A, B, and C steps, I may do A and B ahead of time, save it, and then come back to it the day I want to post it live. And I basically save myself a schedule. I will admit I've been a little slack lately. I've been doing a launch for my program for the Thrive Marketing Academy, and I kind of slacked off. But typically what I do here is I post 2 reels a week. So I prep them ahead of time. I have them all ready to go. One goes on Tuesday, one goes on Wednesday, and I know when they go. So I just take a minute, they're ready to go, and I edit that view on the profile image, and then I post it. And that's it. This is the entire process and system to post these very simple to do, easy talking head reels and post them out on your Instagram and Facebook. I do put the reels together on there just because they're a little bit easier, but I will use them in other ways as well. Sometimes we post them on LinkedIn and then on YouTube as shorts as well. And there are so many benefits to following this system and using this, what I call the best type of reel that you can create to save time making videos and get a better ROI out of the time you put into it. Now, I know that that last step is a little complicated and that you're sitting there going, okay, Kathy, I don't understand this headline, cover image, CTA at the end. It's okay. I also promised Tammy I would do a follow along video. So I am going to have a video that I put up on my social media channel on Instagram and YouTube. So I will walk you through the steps of that. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, if you're listening the day it comes out, it's probably going to be there that day. Or if you're listening to it anytime later on, I'll have a spot where you can just check with me and send me a DM on Instagram or message off my website. And I'll show you and give you a link to where you can find the follow along video that goes with this. At that point too, we'll also have it on the show notes page as well. But that is it. There are just so many easier ways I find than creating videos where you're needing to put audio and different elements and cutting and pasting and editing things and putting them together, for me, talking head videos are the best kind to get out there because they are easy to do. As long as, of course, you've got your system and your plans in place for what you're doing. Once you have those ready, it will make it a lot easier to put out there. Talking head videos also showcase you and help build trust with people. The trust that is so critical when you have a service-based business. Trust is what they typically want to feel before deciding you're the person to hire and work with. When you do these talking head videos, people hear your voice, they see your face, they see your actions, and it just takes your relationship with them one step deeper. Plus, like I said, they are a lot easier to make than all the cutting and pasting and editing that I see people doing trying to put these videos together. So why not try it out? Follow this framework, try some talking head videos, and let me know how it goes. And like I said, I did promise Tammy I would do a follow-along video to share how to do this step by step. So be sure to look in the show notes for that, as well as the other resources that I mentioned too. And you'll be able to find that at marketingyourprivatepractice.com/74, or typically in the show notes wherever you're listening to this on your favorite podcast player. And that is it for today. That is what I wanted to share with you, some quick and easy ways to get some video content out there, and what I call the best kind of video content too. This is Kathy Colaiacovo signing off, saying thanks for tuning in today. And remember, to thrive in practice means learning systems and frameworks that will help you be more efficient with your time and effective with your marketing. One way is using talking head reels and videos to really connect with your online community, which could have potential clients in there listening and getting to know you by video. I'll see you next time. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at pepperitmarketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes.